Junge, was ein Game, ey, was ein Game. Gibt es irgendwie ein Video, warte mal, Death Stranding Explained oder so? Gibt's da irgendwas? So, warte mal, das Video würde ich mir gerne noch mal angucken. Lass mal das hier noch gucken. Weil das wollte ich mir noch mal angucken, aber hier hat halt, Dunkey hat hier einfach alles gespoilert und dann dachte ich mir so, nee, ich will das ja irgendwann noch selber spielen. Also ich kann beides verstehen. Ich kann verstehen, wenn ihr sagt, es ist das beschissenste Game ever. Ich kann aber auch verstehen, wenn man sagt, ey, ist ein richtig geiles Game, so.
Alright. I played through Death Stranding 2 more times. Maybe I've been trapped inside the house for too long. Maybe I'm starting to lose my mind, but something horrible happened when I was playing this game again. Something that I never thought I would say. I actually was having fun while playing Death Stranding. Like I said before, the downfall... Im
Gegensatz zum Gollum-Spiel und Callisto ist Death Stranding ziemlich solide. Ja, also, ich finde, das kannst du mit beiden nicht vergleichen. Ne? Kojima ist ja nochmal eine andere Hausnummer und so, aber...
of working hard is that people expect that much more from you. When EA or Ubisoft put out another garbage video game, nobody bats an eye. But on the
Video
other
sehr leise,
hand, Naughty Dog puts out a super polished, cutting-edge work of art. Well, that's an atrocity because Joel's backpack was the wrong color. The marketing for Death Stranding leaned heavily into the fact that Kojima is one of the most trusted names in gaming.
Hab die Stelle gefunden, kann den Zeitpunkt schicken? Ja, schick mal auf
McDonald's
Insta,
fail,
bitte.
Amazon could fail, but not this guy.
Hello? Hello, everyone.
Hideo Kojima built Metal Gear Solid 2 in a cave with a box of scraps by himself. Go back today and try to play the old Splinter Cell games. It feels like crawling into an ancient tomb and brushing the cobwebs off of the original stone tablets pharaohs would use back in ancient Egypt to play Prince of Persia.
Aber ich finde, Callisto geht an sich, nur das DLC. Ja, Callisto ist jetzt auch nicht überkacke. Ne? Also Callisto kannst du halt auch nicht mit Gollum vergleichen. Also Gollum ist halt wirklich einfach nur ein komplett broken, komplett beschissen. Da kannst du Callisto nicht mit vergleichen und Death Stranding erst recht nicht so, ne? Aber ja. Kannst du Untertitel anmachen? Ja, kann man irgendwie auch auf Deutsch. Geht das so?
Walls. Meanwhile, MGS2 feels like it came out yesterday. Kojima and his team have always been 20 years ahead of the curve. That is, until Death Stranding. Death Stranding was one of the most exciting and creative games of all time before it actually came out. The marketing for this game was genius. They showed us these incredibly tense cinematic trailers filled with cryptic, eye-catching images.
Ja, genau. Der Lead-Up zu Death Stranding war krass, weil du hast dich wirklich gefragt, was wird dieses Game sein? In der Einstellung kannst du automatisch übersetzen. Probieren wir es mal.
And let your imagination run wild. Kojima was already experimenting with his approach to storytelling in the Phantom Pain by
Mega, gar nicht schlecht Übersetzung, Alter. Krank.
allowing players to seek out the codec calls for themselves rather than interrupt gameplay as they typically would. And with PT, it seemed like he was gearing up to fully embrace a more surrealistic approach. It was that same air of mystery that expanded Death Stranding into something far greater than it could ever be. Then the game comes out and says, okay, let's do a checklist now and systematically explain each and everything you see and suck every ounce of mystique out of this world. Kojima takes a regressive step backwards into his patented lecture-based storytelling. Just like Metal Gear, it isn't enough to have a giant robot. You have to completely stop the story in its tracks to explain for 30 minutes.
Manchmal kommen die Untertitel nicht ganz an. Ja, jetzt strugglen sie ein bisschen.
Commission the robot. How does it function? What are the controls? What company provided the metal parts? How long did it take to build? What did it cost? Was Psycho Mantis involved?
Psycho Mantis?
Kojima loves using expository dialogue to simulate this sense of falling down a never-ending rabbit hole. That method of storytelling is a great fit for an espionage thriller where nothing is what it seems, but it doesn't really make sense in a story about a dude hooking people up to Wi-Fi. Real quick, let's recap the story of Death Stranding. Norman Regis is Jeff Bridges. His mom is the president of America, but she dies and tells him to save her daughter, which seems more like his wife than his sister, but his real wife and child, they died. So Guillermo del Toro gives Norman Reedus a plug-in baby, but an evil army man sucks them into World War I with a tornado because he wants the baby. So you shoot him in the head with an assault rifle so he hugs you because you were his baby the whole time, and then you find your non-wife, but she's not.
Als der Trailer rauskam, hatte man viele offene Fragen, hatte man noch mehr offenere Fragen, ja. Aber irgendwie nicht im guten Sinne. Also was die Story zumindest angeht.
On the beach.
Sam, I am the beach.
Turns out not only was she the ringleader of the terrorist, but is also the same person as your mom and is also the extinction entity, an organism whose sole purpose is to bring about a mass extinction. Now keep in mind, this is me simplifying things to make the story more digestible to you. I haven't even brought into play Frankenstein or Old Young Lady's second version or the Symbiotic Twins or Higgs or Heartman or Die Hard Man or Guts Man because they're kind of superfluous in the big picture. When we start the game as Sam Bridges, he is very cynical and distant. He doesn't trust anyone. He doesn't want to be a part of anyone's life. The only music he listens to is Radiohead. He literally has a medical condition where his skin...
Warum sind die alle am Heulen, habe ich auch nicht verstanden. Ich weiß nicht, wird das überhaupt irgendwann mal erklärt? Wurde das erklärt, warum die alle immer am Weinen sind? Ich raff es nicht.
Bruises up if someone touches him. He lives a very isolated, sad life that I think a lot of people can relate to, especially now. But then he goes on a journey to connect the entire United States up to the internet, and as he's traveling across the country and delivering Cheetos to all of these people, he starts making connections. He starts making friends that begin to restore his faith in humanity. That is all the story.
Das sind einfach kleine Bitches. Das kann natürlich sein.
Death Stranding needed. You walk out into a desolate landscape and slowly bring it back to life. All this bullshit with terrorists and BTs and bridge babies and evil whales and extinction entities. These things make the world of Death Stranding more unique, but also dilute and distract from what should have been a more stripped down, humanistic story. Death Stranding has 7.5 hours of cutscenes, and most
7,5 Stunden Cutscenes, Alter. Junge.
of that is people explaining and re-explaining things to you.
Dann geht der Stream zu Ende, um 10
A
Mal
lot of
Schluss.
entertainment value is sacrificed.
Ja, wir gucken noch das hier zu Ende und wir gucken den Trailer noch und dann ist
Player
vorbei.
knows exactly what's going on, except that so much information is presented to you that none of it actually sticks. It's a lose-lose.
Ja, genau.
Whether it's the end of life as we know it or the nutrition facts on a can of Monster Energy drink, these
Länger als die ganze Last of Us Serie, ja.
things are treated as dramatic equals. People can tell
Aber es ist so viel davon, ist halt einfach, das meiste davon ist einfach sehr unnötig. Weißt du, was ich meine?
wherever they want. Summon giant muck monsters. Norman Reedus can't be killed. Amelie is basically Superman.
I could end it all. Us, mankind.
Mach gestern.
Extinction. That's what I am.
How does that even mean?
When the stakes are so nebulous, why do I care
Nee, morgen bin ich nicht da. Ich bin halt nicht da. Ich kann nicht morgen streamen.
that some idiot is trying to fight me? I'll just transform him into a piece of seaweed and start shooting lasers out of my dick. Whatever. There are no
Danke für die
rules.
Einladung
Norman
zum
Reedus
Essen
is
gehen.
being
Junge, wir gehen Burger All You Can Eat essen. Habe ich richtig Bock drauf. Zum einen einfach mit allen wieder essen gehen und zum anderen halt, weil geil ist, Junge.
fucking shot in the head by a man with a machine
Ja,
gun.
Roadhouse,
And
genau.
then he says,
It didn't feel like he was trying to hurt us.
Alles vegan,
It felt
Digga.
like
Das sind
he just wanted to talk.
vegane Kühe
Norman
esse ich da.
Reedus has one life-changing experience after another with his father, with Amelie. He overcomes his
Sag, wo ich bezahle
aphophobia.
auch
He
Steaks.
helps all of these people. He makes all of these friends. And then he says,
I've got no ties to anyone or anything. I might as well be dead. I felt like that when we first met in the cave.
Jetzt kommt das Strand-Type-Gameplay.
so now we finally arrive back at the $14 million question. This new genre that Kojima has created. What is the Strand-type game?
What the fuck, man kann,
Has
warte mal.
created.
Hä, what the fuck, man kann surfen?
What is the Strand-type game?
What? Wusstet ihr das?
Zelda. Death Stranding is an open-world game that places a large emphasis on traversal and gameplay-driven geography. Hills, rivers, cliffs, rocks, canyons, slopes, mountains, mud, grass, snow, roads, bridges, buildings. All of these elements collide and converge to create an open-world setting that is purposely designed around exploration. Just like Zelda did 2 years
Na, das würde ich nicht sagen. Du erkundest ja nicht in Death Stranding, du gehst ja einfach nur durch. Also die ganzen Terrains und diese ganzen Sachen finde ich auch sehr, sehr nice, weil du einfach, ja, du musst halt einen Weg finden, da durchzukommen. So, das finde ich auch sehr, sehr cool. Du kannst halt planen und so und das ist mega nice, aber du erkundest doch nicht,
years
oder?
earlier. The funny thing is, I remember comparing Breath of the Wild to Metal Gear 5 because of how dynamic the gameplay was and how it was so open to experimentation. The most creative thing I ever did in this game was drive a motorcycle over a ladder. Now let's try
Ja,
the
schon mal
same
gemacht.
thing but with Joker's truck. Doesn't work. Of course it doesn't, because you can't get that creative. Death Stranding has hundreds of gameplay mechanics. The problem is, none of them are especially fleshed out. To balance in Death Stranding, you hold the triggers down. That's it. That's how you balance. It's like an ever-present QTE sequence. You might think, no, Dunkey, don't jump off a bridge while carrying 200 pounds of equipment, but nope. I'm fine. I was holding the triggers down. This game has the weirdest fucking rules. Sam will trip over a pebble, but can...
Also Death Stranding und Breath of the Wild mit Kojimas Games zu vergleichen, ist schon eine sehr große Sünde. Also ich glaube, bei seinem Breath of the Wild Video, oder ich weiß nicht, wo das war, mit der Metal Gear Solid. Ich habe Metal Gear Solid nicht gespielt, aber da kam es mir logisch vor. Das hier, das fühle ich nicht. Also die Open World von Death Stranding so ist wie in Breath of the Wild. Also ja, du kannst halt in Breath of the Wild klettern und vielleicht kann man das irgendwie so, ne, Dunkey hat ja irgendwie sowas gesagt, so, ne, so wie Zelda die Mechanik von also wie Klettern zu einer Mechanik wurde, haben sie halt hier Gehen zu einer Mechanik gemacht, aber trotzdem finde ich, kannst du die Open Worlds nicht miteinander vergleichen. Aber Junge, das wusste ich nicht. What the fuck, seit wann kann man denn so surfen?
BTs can hear you breathe, but they can't hear a gigantic truck. Vehicles will get stuck on nothing, but you can also drive off of a cliff without taking damage by landing on the nose. Look, even the packages are fine. The collision detection is all fucked up.
Ja, die Kollisionsdingens. Du kannst halt auch wirklich fast überall mit dem Bike hin, ne? Du knallst da halt zwar gegen, aber du kommst halt immer wieder hoch, so.
But vehicles are so efficient that even if you get stuck on a weird spot for 2 minutes, it's still going to be faster to just jam it through.
Ich bin auch irgendwann, also außer du musstest gehen, bin ich nie wieder gegangen. Seitdem ich das Bike hatte, also das habe ich irgendwie nie benutzt. Also ich wusste auch gar nicht, wie konnte man das überhaupt freischalten? Ich glaube, ich hatte diesen Wagen nicht mal. Aber ich habe immer das Bike benutzt, immer. Weil es immer schneller ging und einfacher war.
When it's operating on that wavelength between relaxing and engaging, sprinting through a patch of boulders, carving out a path through bumpy terrain, barreling downhill with a choo-choo train of packages trailing behind you, setting down a bridge of ladders to cross a strong current, the beautiful landscapes, the sound design, the soundtrack. All of these elements combine with detailed and varied geography to create an atmosphere that is enjoyable just to walk around it. It's fun to sprint downhill as fast as you can and really try to push your luck with the balancing. It's fun to swerve and avoid oncoming rocks, conquering the harsh landscape and making it more hospitable for your fellow players. It's fun.
Genau, es ist der Vibe. Das ist für mich der größte Punkt für Death Stranding. Es ist der Vibe. Das ist genau das Ding so. Ganz oft schafft das Game so einen Vibe zu erzeugen und das ist nice. Und es fühlt sich auch manchmal einfach cool an. Du hast so die ganzen Hindernisse und dann deinen Weg, um diese Hindernisse zu suchen, ne? Mit den Sachen, die du gerade dabei hast. Das ist schon cool. So.
The combat is mindless.
Hör auf zu quatschen, komm raus!
Das Combat ist komplett beschissen.
Stealth is tedious. There are long stretches where it feels like you're being punished for playing. So
Ja.
it's only natural that I would enjoy this game, because at the end of the day, I am a mule, and in the world of Death Stranding, a mule is a human who feels compelled to deliver packages even without knowing why. That is exactly me. Here I am, playing this game for the 3rd time, even though it fucking sucks ass.
Ah, Digga, ich liebe Dunkey. Aber, also ich muss sagen, zum Beispiel, er hat ja Death Stranding richtig gehasst und jetzt spielt das halt zum 3. Mal durch. Also ich würde Death Stranding nicht nochmal durchspielen. Das muss ich halt sagen. Also ich habe es jetzt einmal durchgespielt und ich fand meine Erfahrung manchmal echt scheiße und manchmal echt cool, aber ich würde es halt wirklich nicht nochmal durchspielen, ne? Wenn es Spaß macht, dann ist es so gut, oder? Ja, safe, aber es macht halt nicht immer Spaß. Das ist halt das Ding. Es hat Stellen, wo es richtig cool ist, und es hat Stellen, die sind wirklich frustrierend und ja, ich würde es gar nicht durchspielen. Ja.